Back in 2004, a backcountry runner saw a young girl who he believed was living in Forest Park, which is a large wilderness area adjacent to Portland, Oregon. He alerted the authorities, and they searched for the girl. Finally, they had to use dogs, and they captured her and her father, who had been living in Forest Park for about 4 years. They had a very camouflaged camp. They had a house that was dug into a hillside, and a garden, and a waste disposal system, and a library of encyclopedias and other books. And the father was a veteran, and he was unable to hold a job, and he thought the best thing he could possibly do was live in the wilderness with his daughter and homeschool her. Every couple weeks they would walk down out of Forest Park, and they would cross St. John's Bridge, which is the furthest north bridge in Portland, and they'd go to Safeway and restock their provisions, and they would pick up his disability check, and then they would walk back across the bridge and walk back into the forest where they lived. Once they were caught, the authorities did a lot of tests on the daughter, and they asked a lot of questions, and it turned out that she was ahead of where she should have been in school, so her schooling was very successful. And the people that worked with the father and daughter became very sympathetic to them and decided to relocate them to a horse farm and to give the father a job outside of Portland, which is what they did that summer. And the plan was that the girl would start middle school in the fall, and he would continue to work on the farm. However, over the course of the summer, he became more paranoid, and he believed that helicopters were watching them and following them. And so one night that summer, the two of them just disappeared, and they were never heard from again. That's the true basis of my novel, My Abandonment. My name is Pete Rock. It's a story that I read about in the newspaper back in 2004, and I kept waiting for the next installment of their story to find out what had happened to them, where they had gone, just to find some more explanation, but it never happened. And so I'm a fiction writer. I've always found a little bit of information is a good thing. I just started to wonder what became of them, who they were, where they'd come from, how they supported themselves when they were living in Forest Park, and where they went, what became of them. Someone told me this summer that the father and daughter had been seen again, like on the streets of Portland, and years later. And I was just my first reaction was, no, I know what happened to them, and that's not what happened. Yeah.